All right, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to America Talks Live. We are here from our New York City studios. We welcome your calls at 877 Newsmax. Joining me on the panel in a second, Tom Borelli, and we're trying to effort Wayne Allyn Root. But I want to put up a picture of a slain New York City police sergeant, and Paul Tuzzulo. Paul Tuzzulo was gunned down in cold blood last week. And there's a story in the New York Post today talking about how Donald Trump, with the election, with being elected president of the United States, with traveling to the White House, Donald Trump called the family, the widow of Sergeant Paul Tuzzulo, who has 2 young children. And it reminds me, the great Stephen McDonald, a New York City police officer, who's been so outspoken and such an inspiration. He's paralyzed for life. He has been for now over 25 years, I guess, maybe more. And after he was shot, President Ronald Reagan from Air Force One called his hospital room and spoke to his lovely wife. And I played in the past on radio an audio tape of that conversation. Just amazing. But this is the kind of person Donald Trump is. He won the election. Did he have to call this woman? He wanted to call this woman. It's who he is. All right. Tom Borelli, Dr. Tom Borelli, Ph.D., contributor for Conservative Review, is with me. And we found him. Wayne Allyn Root, former Libertarian vice presidential nominee, best-selling author, syndicated columnist, Trump supporter, and author of Angry White Male, How the Donald Trump Phenomenon is Changing America and What We Could All Do to Save the Middle Class. Welcome to both of you. So, Tom, let me start with you. This incitement by the media. We showed video yesterday of a white man getting beaten by thugs in Chicago because they said he voted Trump. We have no word of that. That doesn't make the mainstream media. No word from our Attorney General. No word from our President that this kind of thing won't fly. And, of course, the riots in Portland, Oregon, and the protests where windows are smashed other places. This is the left reacting the way the media told us that Trump supporters would react if Trump lost.
Well, remember, because of Project Veritas, we found out that actually the left is trying to incite violence at Trump rallies, which would be a really easy thing to do. Go in and get punched and create havoc. This is what the left is about. All these people in the streets, they have no idea why they're there. Probably some of them are being paid there. Some of them might have been bussed there. This is the way the left works. They try to distract. They try to, violence. It's all off message. But the good news is all of this is going to change.
Wayne?
Well, my uncle was a decorated Brooklyn police detective. I love cops. And I got to tell you that what Trump did is wonderful. I've been writing about it for a year and a half now, that Trump is Reagan, in my opinion. He is the new Reagan. Now he's elected president like Reagan. They treat him like Reagan with disdain. Like Reagan, he likes cops. It's a new day in America. It's morning in America. We got a president who likes and respects police officers and who calls the widows of police officers. That's my kind of guy. And then you got these punks in the streets, these anarchists, these troublemakers paid to cause trouble and hurt innocent people like police officers. And you see the dichotomy there. Which side do you choose? America chose Donald Trump. I'm glad I live in this America today.
Let me put up a couple of tweets that Trump has come under fire for. They've even speculated on, of course, the liberal media, cable outlets, that the market didn't go way up today at the beginning because of this Donald Trump tweet from last night. Let's put it up. And he said, just had a very open and successful presidential election. Now professional protesters incited by the media are protesting. Very unfair. And then this morning, guys, he sent this one out. Love the fact that small groups of protesters last night have passion for our great country. We will all come together and be proud. It almost sounds like it was 2 different people, Tom, tweeting it out. To be honest with you, I really wish that he would never go on Twitter again. That's just what I wish.
No, a good point, Steve. And I think when he does go on Twitter, it has to be measured and the thought of driving the message. Because right now he's going to be president of the United States. And the most important thing he can do is use that bully pulpit to drive the message to get the people to pressure Congress. That's what he needs to do. Twitter could be one of his weapons in his arsenal, but he's got to use it sparingly.
Wayne?
Well, I was there from the beginning. I'm the only guy in the country who, from day one, in Fox News and then throughout Newsmax, all over the country, I've been everywhere saying he's the next president of the United States, predicting he'd win, talking about his path. I'm on his side from forever. I'll never leave that side. And even I think it's time to put Twitter away. You can't be the president of the United States and send out tweets in the middle of the night. He could do it while he was running for president. I was one of the few who felt it was okay because that's him. But now that you're president, you can't do that. There's no reason to do it. He won. He's president. Stop tweeting. Don't worry about it. Build the wall.
Yeah, I could not agree more. Let me ask you about yesterday's meeting, Tom, with the president. This is a president, I put it in the top of the show. I played what he said on Jimmy Kimmel. And, of course, I could have played for an hour all the things he said about Donald Trump, including that he accepts the support of the KKK, right on down the line. But very telling, I think, yesterday was the fact that there was no group shot of the president and the first lady and the president-elect and his spouse. The report is in the Wall Street Journal that the Obamas nixed that shot, that traditional shot that the Obamas got with the Bushes. So I think that's very telling.
Well, absolutely. You have to remember that this is probably the worst day. Yesterday was the worst day in President Obama's life. He ran the country for 8 years, overreached, and his entire legacy is going to be erased because much of it was done through his pen and his phone. All of that's going to be erased, and that's going to be driving him mad. Not only that, the Democrats are now in shambles. Who's the leader of the Democrat Party? The DNC is in shambles. It is just a great day for America, and what a fitting way for President Obama to leave office.
Wayne, I agree with Tom. It had to be, I give him credit in one sense. But, just like he let Netanyahu go out the back door, like he put his feet up on the desk with the soles showing so the Muslim world would understand what that meant when he was on the phone with Netanyahu. I think it was a slight that has great meaning to the people who know that I'm not taking a picture with this guy like that. So, but on the other hand, to the public at least, he did what he had to do.
Well, I'm writing the commentary now, so I agree with Tom. Tom and I know each other. We're both from Mount Vernon, New York, by the way. What are the odds?
I was gonna have a party and introduce the two of you. Now you ruined the whole thing.
And he's kind enough to have me on his radio show once in a while.
Can you imagine Mount Vernon, New York, out of all the towns and cities in America, for the same place? So Tom's a great guy. I agree with him. I'm writing the commentary now. In the first 100 days, the number one thing that Trump has to do is erase Obama like he never existed. That's what I'm writing. Erase him like he never existed. Take everything he ever did and erase it, and just don't even let us believe it ever happened. It was a nightmare. It wasn't real. But I saw things a little differently the last couple of days than you guys. I actually think, even though they were kind of stiff and they didn't take the picture together, Obama was trying his best to be on his best behavior.
Oh, I agree. Nice. Yeah, I agree.
And Clinton was so nice. And Bill called Trump to congratulate him. Hillary conceded so quickly, you'd think she would have played this out for days. My theory is they both know they could wind up in jail. Not just Bill and Hillary. I mean, the Clintons and Barack Obama, they're all tied together. And if you go after Hillary, she'll drop a dime on Obama. He knew about her personally. So they're being nice.
Do you think?
Donald, we're all friends. Don't put us in prison. Be nice. We're all ex-presidents. Big shots.
All right.
Just
come in the club.
Let me ask you real quick. We have 2 minutes left. Tom, both Ari Fleischer yesterday on this show and Roger Stone just moments ago had advice for Donald Trump, and in a different way, it's really the same thing. Don't let the insiders into your cabinet. Don't let the people who disagree with you in any way on any policy into your cabinet. Be very selective. Be true to yourself. And what worried me, Rush already wrote something or said on the show yesterday, from what I read today, I'm already getting nervous. In other words, this cozy relationship with him and Obama, and I'm going to seek counsel from him. Tom, do you think Trump will stay true to his outsider nature?
I think so. I think one of the things, all the people complain about Trump, that he's an egomaniac, but I really think when he went out to all those rallies and met all those people throughout the country, that could really have a real impact, and really is why he's doing what he's doing. So I think he is going to be true. I think he got elected by rejecting the insiders, and I think he's going to continue to do that, and I think that will be reflected in his cabinet.
Wayne?
I would make the point, and believe me, I'll be sending him emails in the next few days making the point that you were not elected to be friends to everyone, and you're not elected to reconcile with the left. You were elected by working class and middle class Americans who felt they were never heard, and you resonated with them and you heard them, and they're counting on you to pass legislation that helps them. We don't want another Obama in the White House. We don't want you making friends with Obama.
Right.
We want you erasing everything Obama ever
absolutely.
did.
And by the way, I just saw Chris Christie on the screen. Okay. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate it very much. So, folks, what does the Trump transition mean for our national security? And what about Hillary? Will she be pardoned or prosecuted? We will talk to a man who knows it all, the one, the only, Andy McCarthy, former federal prosecutor. He's next. He'll answer those questions and more. Coming back.